Welcome to my channel. My next request for today is Lana Del Rey singing Candy Necklace, and this features Jon Batiste. Don't know who that is. This was requested by Arad Anavi on February 3rd of 2025. So that's what? Gosh, that's 7 months ago. Goodness gracious. I've got so many of them. But it's okay. I'm working my way through them. Before we get into the music, I got to thank you for coming and thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you do to make my channel a success and for the wonderful comments. You guys are just special to me. You really are. I think of you as my friends and my family. I always put the artist links in the description of their playlist so you can support them as well. But I put the link to the song that I'm reacting to in the description of the video. I also put a link in there from Wikipedia if I can find anything that's relevant. And I don't put the link to the reaction request form because I'm not currently accepting new requests. I have over 3,400 in my queue. I'm trying to get some of those taken care of. As you can see, I'm behind just a little bit. But I always live stream on Sundays for 2 hours from 4 p.m. UTC. So if you come then, you can ask for your song in the chat, and I will react to it live right on the spot. Okay? So this is Lana Del Rey featuring Jon Batiste singing Candy Necklace.
Cinnamon on my teeth, and I'm sitting at the stoplight, northern town. I feel lucky.
So Lana, all that was cool. We're gonna go on reset for a shot on John, his reveal. Okay. And then but just a little bit of real life same place.
I don't remember the names of them.
No, I don't remember.
My favorite one was when she was skateboarding down the alley in Long Beach. I think we started in a bar.
Yep. I drive somewhere at a range, I don't know where. White noise coming on in my brain. Turns off for nothing. Rockefeller, my umbrella. God, I love you, baby. Storyteller, us forever is my favorite song.
Camera set? Yeah. And action!
The Eagles, live at Sphere Las Vegas.
You've been acting pretty restless, dancing like the young and restless, and I'm obsessed with it. Candy necklaces. You've been acting pretty reckless, dancing like the young and restless, and I'm obsessed with this. All his candy necklaces.
This looks great.
I I just don't know like how to not be like a robot, because it's just like I just need to shoot. But I'm not. It's not like working anymore for me.
Sitting on the sofa, feeling super suicidal. I hate to say the word, but baby, hand on the Bible, I do feel like it's you, the one who's bringing me down. Thought that we were cool and we were kicking it like Tribe Called Quest. You're the best, but baby, you've been bringing me down. I can see it now.
Ready? Come on, you're part of the movie. Hello.
Rockefeller, my umbrella. God, I love you, baby. Fortune teller, favorite ever. Was the story of us?
Hi, nice to meet you. Because the whole thing about the video was like why it was all supposed to be behind the scenes was because all these women who like changed their name, changed their hair like me and stuff. It's like they all fell into these different like snake holes. So the whole point is like how do you learn from that and not fall into your own thing?
Alright, which one do you want to go for? You want to go for arms around your leg?
You've been acting pretty restless, dancing like the young and reckless, and I'm obsessed with this. Candy necklaces. I think that we should address this, acting like the young and restless. I'm obsessed with this. All his candy necklaces.
Get out. Seriously. We've been acting pretty restless, dancing like the young and restless. I'm obsessed with this. Candy necklaces.
Candy necklaces.
Candy necklaces. Candy necklaces. Candy necklaces. Candy necklaces. Candy necklaces. I'm obsessed with candy necklaces. Candy
Okay. That was a weird ending. It just cut off instantly. Gosh. This was typical Lana Del Rey. I understood about half of the words. She has that unbelievably sultry voice. And the graphics were, well, okay, what I thought of, what I thought of when I watched all that was how fake Hollywood is. Just what I thought. You got a guy on the roof of a car making the windshield wiper go with his hand while they're sitting in a vehicle that's not moving and it's raining and they're going down the road. And when you see it on the TV, it looks real. It's just a gosh, to me, it's a symbol of how vacuous Hollywood is. It really is. I'm going to tell you a story. Years ago, I lived in North Carolina and I worked in insurance, selling insurance. And I would travel around the state to visit people. And I visited this one fella who had indicated an interest in getting some insurance. And he said it was for his mother. And when I got there, it was one of those houses, that's been around a long time, but at one time it was really wealthy, and it had kind of not necessarily decayed, but it just didn't have the same luster that it had when it was first built. And his mother was bedridden, and after he signed the contract for the policy, he asked me if I'd like to stick around and have a beer, and I said sure. It was close to the end of the day, and I didn't have anything else to do, and so we got to talk, and it turned out he was a I guess you'd call him a minor producer in Hollywood, and he had he knew people, like Ida and Rita Lupino, those kind of people. This going back a ways, and we must have talked for 2 or 3 hours. It was really an enjoyable conversation, and then he said, "Hey," he says, "you want a party tonight?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well," he says, "I can get you anything you want." And I said, "Well, anything what?" And he says, "Well, girls, guys, whatever you want, I can get it for you." And I said, "No, thank you. I'm married." And I bid my goodbyes shortly after that because I realized this was heading in a bad direction. But I remember thinking at the time, that's Hollywood. It's just unreal. It's not. I don't know if the fake is the right word. It's like an alternate universe. That's what it's like. People out there don't play by the same rules you and I do. They don't live the same kind of lives you and I do. They experience things that you and I would never even dream of experiencing. And I got a brief glimpse into it. It was not for me. Not at all. But I don't know why I thought of that. But anyway, that's what I thought of was how vacuous and how empty Hollywood is, because everything is fake. It looks real on the screen, but it's fake in real life. What that has to do with the song, I can't say, except that, you saw her, Lana Del Rey, looking a lot like Marilyn Monroe. But it's not Marilyn Monroe. And posing like her too. And it just kind of stood out for me how fake it is. Anyway, I always like to hear her because she's intriguing. I am going to have to go get the lyrics though. because I'm not quite sure what she sang about. Oh, Lana. She uses that kind of reverb or echoey sound, whatever it is, that really it has an ethereal quality to it, but it kind of masks her voice, so it's hard to, at least for me, with my hearing aids, it's hard to hear her and understand what she's singing. But I do enjoy listening to her. She does make good music. I always pray for you every video because, for me, prayer is important. And so, it's my way of saying I love you. It's my way of saying I care about you. It's my way of saying I want the best and only the best for you. So I pray that God will watch over you, and I pray that God will bless you, and I pray that He will bring you His peace, because if you have God's peace, you have zero anxiety. You have tranquility. You have serenity. And that's what I want for you. And I pray that for every single person that you love as well, because they're important to you. This is the Vietnam Era Vet, out.